This is one thing that I'm actually okay to see. So I was searching on Google and I found essentially an article about a Russian outlet that was talking to Ilya Lyubushkin, the former Maple Leafs defenseman who did re-sign with the Dallas Stars, or sign with the Dallas Stars, sorry. Now, he was going on about his thought process that the Maple Leafs contract offer was, quote, unacceptable from his point of view, which, okay, I have no problem with that. Dude, I'm going to go off on this. I wish the Leafs gave more unacceptable contract offers to bottom tier players. They sign way too many bottom tier players. Now, to be fair, though, Ilya Lyubushkin got a contract that I would not have given him, so I'm glad the Leafs walked away from him, to be honest. So that's my perspective on it. I personally wish they had the same perspective when it comes to David Camp, who they gave like 2.4 or whatever the hell they gave him, and things like that. But it is funny to see in these, whenever you get a player on a podcast or you get them in like a Russian or foreign outlet, the player talks as if it's never going to make it back to Western media. You ever find that? So like it's the same thing with Jonathan Marchessault going off on the Golden Knights. It's like obviously that was going to make it back, but hey, the Golden Knights won the cup, so maybe you should be more cutthroat. I wish organizations were more cutthroat when it comes to bottom tier players. I just don't look at Ilya Lyubushkin as anything more than a bottom-ish defenseman. He can play with Morgan Rielly, but if you look at the contract that he got over 3 years with the Dallas Stars, he got almost $10 million times 3. That's like 3.25 or something over 3 years. Like, oof, I wouldn't have paid him that. Like, there was a lot of tough contracts going around. I guess you would say based off of the position that he played with the Leafs, maybe he deserves more, but I don't know. I don't think he's even worth that. I don't think he's worth much more than 1.5 in my opinion. The biggest thing with me when I look at a player, I look at how much confidence does a coach have putting the player on the ice. That's it, right? If your coach is confident putting a player on the ice, he's going to make a lot of plays and be able to play a lot of minutes. He only plays like 16, 17 minutes. Like, how the hell can you say that a 16 or 17 minute defenseman is worth $3.25 million? Like, he's just not. Like, he doesn't play nearly the quality of competition. His offensive ability isn't that good. He handles the puck like a grenade. So this guy's saying that it was unacceptable, quote unquote, unacceptable. Good Leafs. Good. You have to get harder, especially on these bottom players. I wish they gave an unacceptable offer to, Ryan Reeves and David Camp, but now look, here we are. Or Timothy Liljegren. I don't think Timothy Liljegren should have gotten $3 million. What do you guys think? Do you think he should have gotten $3 million? I don't think he plays nearly enough minutes and has showed nearly enough to get that amount of money. Maybe the Leafs thought he was going to get that amount in arbitration. I think he's arbitration eligible, so that could be a part of what they were thinking. I'm not exactly sure. I will say, though, that one point on Ilya Lyubushkin's side is that he had as many points as Mitch Marner. I'll put the information up on the screen, but they both had 3 points in 7 games. So he actually was okay in the playoffs. And on the better side of Ilya Lyubushkin, he tends to be okay defensive awareness away from the puck, and that is a good value. I just really, really think that teams need to find better values better down their roster, because you need to understand that these players don't have as much of an impact on your roster. They can have an impact on the penalty kill, but they don't have nearly as much of an impact on the roster as you might think. So just paying these players big amounts of money, like when the Dallas Stars signed that, I was confused. I was like, what the hell is going on with this? And you even see what Joel Edmondson got, which is an outrageous contract in my opinion. I mean, when it comes to Joel Edmondson, who I would say is a relatively comparable player in some ways. I mean, this guy got a multi-year contract, almost $4 million. What? How did he get that? It puzzles me as to why teams just obsess over these players that they do provide value. Like a lot of teams, when it comes to playoff time, they will grab players like this because they're, quote, playoff type players, which do have a value. Like size in the NHL, defensive ability absolutely still has a big value. When you see certain players, they play more comfortably in the playoffs because of their size, right? And Joel Edmondson is a playoff type player, but like, would you give him $4 million? Could you not just trade for a player at the deadline that could do that? Is Ilya Lyubushkin really worth 3.25? Like, yuck. Dude, the guy plays, again, I've already said this, but he plays 17 minutes. Like that, like that's nearing on almost top 4. You know, you want to save that money for your top players. I just always feel like teams make these like really weird mistakes. I don't know, whatever. But this is one that I personally, when I read this article, I am really glad that the Leafs said absolutely not to Ilya Lyubushkin. You can drop your comments below. Maybe you wanted the Maple Leafs to give him that contract. Drop the comments below if you disagree with me or you agree with me. I'm going to end the video there. Have a great day, guys. Goodbye.